Hi, I'm Cheryl Gallant, your Conservative Member of Parliament for the huge riding of Renfrew-Nipissing-Pembroke. Welcome to another special summer edition of the Gallant Night News live here on Parliament Hill. I want to start today's episode with a big thank you to you. Last week on the show, I interviewed Roger Perot, a veteran injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan. I also asked you to go to my website and send a message to the Minister of Veterans Affairs in support of Roger. The response from Canadians and his case was heartwarming. Sadly, some in the media are so obsessed with Omar Khadr that even after reading the case about Roger Perot, all they could do was tweet about Khadr and Trudeau. That's why, for today's special report, we're going to ask, are the media stuck in a liberal bubble or just looking for a payout? But first, the news. Queen Elizabeth II is investing a new representative in Canada. Our next Governor General will be the former astronaut Julie Payette. My daughters were 12, 10, 8, and 6 when Julie Payette first went into space, and she has been inspiring young Canadians to take up science, technology, engineering, and math ever since. I'd like to wish our next Governor General every success, and I'm looking forward to her reading a speech from the throne from a newly elected majority Conservative government in 2019. Yesterday, the Bank of Canada hiked its key interest rate for the first time in 7 years. The bank raised its overnight lending rate from 0.5 to 0.75%. The move means consumers will pay more for such things as variable rate mortgages and lines of credit. Trudeau's reckless borrowing just became more expensive for Canadians. Now, I understand the added anxiety higher interest rates will bring for students, small business owners, and homeowners. Prime Minister Trudeau should have considered how future interest rate hikes would impact Canadian families before he raised taxes on gasoline and home heating. We will hold Justin Trudeau to account for the taxes he's raised to pay for his uncontrolled spending and for leaving ordinary Canadians behind. Omar Khadr's lawyers have hit back against Khadr's victims in court. The widow of the medic Khadr killed in Afghanistan and another soldier he blinded are seeking an emergency injunction to free Khadr's assets. In response, his lawyers have argued that he doesn't have to reveal his personal finances. They argue that Khadr's relatives have no bearing on who he might transfer funds to. And in an argument only a lawyer could love, Khadr's lawyers claim that since the actual payoff amount was kept secret by Khadr and Trudeau, any claims that Khadr has received a payoff is hearsay. It's truly stunning. Khadr's lawyers are arguing you can't trust the media when it comes to stories about Khadr. That is some next level of irony. The media have been leading the Omar Khadr defense team for some time, but especially since details of Trudeau's payoff leaked out. Why are so many in the media leading the Omar Khadr bandwagon? We'll try to answer that with this special report.
This is GNN.
Whether it's the Toronto Star, CBC, Globe and Mail, CTV, or even the National Post, editorialists and columnists have been tripping over themselves in the rush to justify Justin's payout to Khadr. They've been working overtime trying to media-splain why you should zip it and just accept the payout. They brought out fake news story after fake news story. They claimed it was all somehow Harper's fault, that Trudeau had no choice, that the lawsuit was a slam dunk for Khadr. Worse, some in the media have even tried to argue that the way the Chrétien-Martin government treated Khadr was the same way they treated Maher Arar. Arar was an innocent man who was sent to be tortured in Syria, actual torture by the Assad regime. Khadr was an al-Qaeda trained terrorist fighting alongside Taliban insurgents who was sent to Guantanamo Bay, where he alleges he was deprived of sleep. To equate the two cases is shameful. Aside from letters to editors and a few rebels, you'll struggle to find anyone in the media who opposed the payment. Of course, the media got a little quieter after a poll came out showing 71% of Canadians oppose this payment. Even a majority of Liberal and NDP voters oppose this payment. Just think how far outside of the mainstream that puts our media. They have so thoroughly cocooned themselves into their tiny media bubble that no amount of basic common sense can be penetrating. So, for any members of Parliament or media or the Liberal Party staffers watching this video, let me explain what 71% of Canadians know that you don't. The Supreme Court ruled what the Chrétien-Martin Liberals did to Cotter was wrong. Fighting with the Taliban and building roadside bombs as a member of Al-Qaeda was wrong. Two wrongs do not make a right. Two wrongs do not equal $10.5 million. Justin Trudeau's decision to settle with Cotter offends Canadians, their sense of justice. You cannot correct one injustice with more injustice. Canadians do not want a government that gives $10 million to somebody who built roadside bombs when that same government is refusing to give a benefit to a qualifying veteran injured by a roadside bomb. That is the greater injustice, and the media still can't figure that out. It makes me think that there might be something else going on. Canadians are writing letters to their MPs, writing letters to the editors, and calling their broadcasters. So surely the elite stream media realize how out of touch they are with their customers, or at least with the commercial media should. Why would they ask and risk alienating people who pay for their product? Unless the people they fear alienating are the Liberals. The elite stream media have intensified their begging for taxpayer handouts this year. They complain that Facebook and Google are stealing all their advertisers by providing a superior service at a lower cost. So they need government to come in and bail them out. The blowback from regular Canadians has terrified the elite stream media. The last time a Liberal Prime Minister tried to claim he had no choice for his bad decisions, the Conservatives won a majority government with over 50% of the vote. This has the elite stream media in a panic. They had worked so hard at trying to keep Trudeau away from less than sunny headlines. Now Trudeau is elbowing aside their carefully laid plan to keep the Liberals in power in return for hundreds of millions of dollars in subsidies. They know that if the Conservatives are elected, there won't be a gravy train. Media companies are going to have to adapt and work hard to win consumers and paying subscribers. We are already seeing some of these new media companies rebel against the elite stream consensus. They're thriving and growing while the old media continues to shed jobs. When journalists think the difference between them having a newspaper or a TV broadcaster to work for is the party in government, it presents a real challenge to remain objective. As pressures on the old media increase, they're going to become more partisan in their support of big government and big government parties. This collusion between the elite stream media and the Liberals will only increase over the next 2 years. So that's why I need your help. Share this video right now. Only by getting the word out about alternatives to the elite stream media will more and more Canadians learn the truth about what's going on. The Gallant Night News is just one example of what we have planned coming up. So be sure to go to cherylgallant.com/GNN and subscribe. It's free. I think you will like what we have in store. Live from Ottawa, this is Cheryl Gallant wishing you a great day.